After Lee's stunning victory at Chancellorsville, the Confederates also found victory at Fredericksburg. These successes encouraged Lee even more to advance through Union territory. As before, his goals were to break the North's will to fight, and also to capture all supplies he needed for his army. In mid-June 1863, Lee cut across Maryland into southern Pennsylvania. This he found a small town called Gettysburg. Lee decided to set camp here, looking for supplies, but he was unaware that the Union soldiers were just northwest of this town. Lee sent some Confederates over to Gettysburg for supplies. They then were surprised to find that they were being attacked. This event triggered the Battle of Gettysburg, where over 75,000 Confederate soldiers faced about 90,000 Union soldiers. On July 1st, 1863, Lee then sent his men to the front line.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. That this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom. And that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
The Civil War had deep and lasting effects. After Sherman cleared out the capital, Grant had surrounded Lee's army and demanded its surrender. Lee hoped to join the remaining Confederates in North Carolina, but Grant cut off his escape just west of Richmond. Almost 620,000 Americans lost their lives during the 4 years of all the fighting between the Confederates and the Union. It was the most costly conflict in American history. Bitterness over the war would linger in both the North and the South for many years to come.